Want denser buds and more trichomes? In this video, I'll show you how to stress the smart way so your plants respond with explosive growth. Before we do, attention growers, monitor your grow. For real, guys, pulsegrow.com. You want to be able to know when things are going right or wrong, or just monitor your grow. VPD, temperature, humidity, light schedules, lights on and off, CO2, is it too low? Did your tank run out? R, DLI, spectrum, dew point. Pulse Grow measures all of these items. Pulsegrow.com. You can pick up a Pulse Zero meter for under $100. Coupon code DUDE will help you out across the site. Check out pulsegrow.com. It is insurance for your grow. Believe me, it has saved me before. All right, if it don't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. Does that apply to the plants too? Is that what's going on, Scotty?
Tell that to someone who's been beaten half to death, sir. All right? No, there's controlled stress, the right amount of stress. All right? And me and you were talking about this a couple days ago about if you were a billionaire, that you kind of have no stress, you know? So you just kind of, you will get soft, I would think, sir. Or unless you have a little bit of stress, you'll get soft. And same with your plants. By the way, this applies to photo period plants. It was just, I've got my auto flowers going. You don't want to stress autos, man. Stress autos and no good. So what we're talking about here is for photo period plants. Let's get into it. There's a couple proven things that work here, brother.
Yes, high stress straining would be the first one. High stress straining to me is when I am bending over stems. Sometimes my stem is even, and this is up at the top sites, kind of below the flowers, in between the flowers. Yeah. And this is a time when I'm going to be doing this to get an even canopy. I bend over stems. Sometimes they even crack slightly, not all the way. You definitely don't want to break your stems. And you have to be very careful doing this. Learn how to do it, and do it when your plants are really hydrated.
Yeah, there's an inside layer called the cambium layer, and that's what you want to crack. You don't really want to crack the outside skin because then you can get infections on there and whatnot. But you can bend the stalk if the plant's really well hydrated, and you'll hear like a little snap. That's called high stress training. They've also got it where I call it super cropping, where you go up the stem and you just twist it a little bit until you hear a snap, and you go every inch or so. And what that does, that sends hormones. Holy crap, I just had this emergency. I don't want to lose this part of the plant. Let's send all the auxins and cytokinins and all those growth hormones. Let's send them up to the plant to heal it.
It's amazing how quick they heal, too. You don't want to do this in the latter part of flowering. You're going to do this in the earlier part of flowering. And you'll see on some of them just almost knuckles, like where they re-heal. Yeah. And it's pretty neat to watch how quick they can heal and get back to right canopy. And having an even canopy, if off subject political scroggy and all that, getting even light to all the buds is definitely going to up your yields.
Yeah, it redistributes the auxins, specifically the auxins, but those hormones. Because if you've got one giant apical meristem, you got one giant top, and it's getting all the light, it is going to be pulling all those resources up to that top. When you take that top and bend it laterally, you're now redirecting those resources, and that's how you get a big bushy plant. And usually your top will just turn sideways and give you all sorts of buds on there.
Let's talk about temperature stress. You can go hot, you can go cold. We can do both.
Yeah, heat stress. I'm not a huge fan of heat stress, but your plants sure will grow fast in the heat. You just got to keep everything up. You've got to keep plenty of water. But man, I do like the cold stress more. I wouldn't mind talking about that.
I can do both. I mean, obviously, when you're further into flowering, we don't want high temps. We don't want to volatilize, burn off our terps, our great smell, the aroma. Earlier in veg, like you said, high temps with a managed environment, proper VPD, mid 80s, rocket. That plant's almost going to be able to watch it grow. But cold temps, the latter part of flowering, I definitely see different phenotypical expressions come out. I think the plant, just like in nature, is understanding it's going to start to want to senesce and do different things that, put on a little bit more frost.
I've seen you do this. I've seen some of your grows, and I'm like, how did you get this so purple? And you said you use cold stress, right?
Yeah, and that's definitely strain dependent, but it is one way. And again, I try to grow somewhat like nature grows. I mean, we're indoor growers, so we're doing our own thing. But the last 10 days, week or so, I have a pretty big differential between nighttime temps and daytime temps, and not everybody's able to do this depending on your cold air intake, your AC, or what your environmental controls are. But it's a great way to see what that plant might do.
I dig it. I dig it. You want to talk about this last one? This last one's dangerous. Water stress. Actually, it's not. I just water stressed the heck out of my clones. I had them in solo cups. I call it water stress. I forgot to water them last week, and they were just so light. You could pick them up. They'd fall over. They were so light. But meanwhile, they are reaching those roots are saying, hey, there's no water here. Let me expand and reach out and find every last little bit of water I can. So by water stressing, you definitely will promote root growth.
Yeah, that's another thing where I believe that I'll put on sometimes during a drought period. If you have flowers and they, you have trichomes developing, you're a month in your photo period plants in the bloom cycle, and they're going to get really dry, they develop a little bit more resin, protect the flowers. I feel like maybe this is going to be a drought period for a little bit. Holy shit,
Yeah.
Take care of this.
Yeah, resin stress. I like it.
Got a bonus here, defoliating stress. This is kind of like I always have the analogy of plants out in nature and a deer goes by and eats 25% of its leaves off. That plant's going to be like, oh, shit, I got to push, man. I can't have that happen.
Yes. And what's it do with all that sugar that the leaf made and that's in the plant material right now? That plant wants to send that sugar, to the back to the foliage. And if there's no leaves there, then what's it do? It sends it to the buds, right? That's what that schwazzing is all about. Is you remove leaves, schwaze. You remove leaves at the right time, and those sugars have to go somewhere. So there's nowhere for them to go but the buds. So defoliation stress, it can definitely lead to bigger buds, better yields.
How did they decide to come up with that term, schwaz? Let's call it schwazing.
It wasn't something to do with Patrick Swayze, I thought.
I think we just wanted it to be that because he always shaves his chest.
Yes, on day 1 and day 21. All right. No, but seriously, you got to make sure you time this stuff correctly, because you want to time this. I think it is day 1 and 21 of flower that they schwaze, they remove all the leaves, and it is directing energy. That's the idea behind the defoliation.
Right on. Give us some of your tips to stress your grow. You go in there, do a little pip slapping on the plants. Tell us what you do. Leave us some comments below.
I don't think you can say that anymore, dude. But if you're stressing your plants and you got some good info for us, some good tips, please let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this one with another grower and check out the other couple videos YouTube is recommending.